Listen, kid. There are two things you don't know about the Earth. One is me, and the other is Godzilla.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is Spider. Welcome back to another review. And what did y'all think of that intro? I'm thinking about doing that from now on for reviews of special figures, or at least figures that are special to me. Speaking of which, today we're going to be taking a look at the Bandai Creation's 12-inch Final Wars Godzilla. This figure released back in 2007, he is based on his appearance from Godzilla Final Wars. So, to get this review started, we'll take a look at the packaging, so let's get to it. Alrighty, here we have the box, or at least what's left of it anyways. And we can see you got a big old image of the Final Wars Godzilla. You got the Showa Gigan there and Showa King Ghidorah. You got Bandai Creations in the corner there, which you can kind of see a little bit. Whatever. You got the back of the box with that same image of Godzilla. You got Godzilla. You got a bunch of other figures that you can get, most of which I have, 3 of which I've reviewed. And that's pretty much it for that. On to the figure. Alrighty, here we have the 12-inch Godzilla, which, as you can imagine, is pretty dang big. And something kind of interesting about this is that when this figure came out, Bandai had already made a 6-inch Final Wars Godzilla. So you would think they would just take that mold and blow it up. But no, this is a completely brand new mold. So let's take a look at it. So we'll first start off with the articulation. The head can rotate. So it can look all the way around if you want him to do that for some reason. The arms can both move in and out like so. The leg can move up on a slant. It actually might be able to go all the way around, just kind of bumps into the hand a bit. The tail is a joint here, here, and here. So, yeah, so for a Bandai Creations figure, he is pretty well articulated. Especially in the tail. I mean, with most Bandai Creation figures, you get like maybe 2 joints if you're lucky, but 3? That usually never happens. So, yeah, they put a decent amount of articulation in this guy. Actually, now we'll bring him in close here to take a look at the details. Gotta bring the camera way up for this. Actually, you can kind of see him now. It's a little bright. We'll just dim that down a bit. So you can see we have a nice Godzilla face. It's a nice orange eye and the individually painted fangs. You get a nice red tongue in the mouth. You got his little ear. You got the nice sculpt work on the neck. It looks very nice. And get so you can see it a bit better. We got the nice sculpted arms. And you got the claws, which are painted all the way around. Very nice. And the claws are actually 2-toned. You can kind of see they painted it yellow and then painted a coat on top of that to kind of give it more definition. That's pretty cool. You got the chest, which is pretty well detailed. You got the big old Godzilla thighs. They're nice and detailed. And you got the foot, and unfortunately the toe claws, unlike the hands, are not painted all the way around, which is unfortunate. And you got the dorsal spines, which are very well done. These are very accurate to how they appear in the film. And go all the way up the tail, and it is painted as well. You can see here the paint's kind of scraped off, but it is painted to the tip of the tail, which is very, very nice. I know a lot of people care about that because Bandai usually doesn't do that. The paint will usually stop like about here and they won't paint the rest of the tail. But this one, they did. And it looks pretty dang nice. So yeah, he looks pretty dang cool. The only slight issues I would have is that the sculpt is not completely accurate. The head sculpt is a little off. It's not quite how he looks in the movie. I mean, you can still look at it and tell that it's the Final Wars Godzilla, but the head is a little off. Just a bit. The legs are also oddly scrunched up, like it has more like a dinosaur kind of look to it, whereas in the film his legs were more just kind of straight up and down. So just a few little inaccuracies in the sculpt, which oddly enough the 6-inch version is actually more accurate to his appearance in the film, but this figure is still pretty dang cool. So yeah, despite its minor faults, he still looks pretty dang cool. And plus, he's just really big. And that's kind of one of the main reasons you're getting him, is just to have a nice big Godzilla figure, because the character is quite large, as you may have guessed. So it's nice to have a figure that represents that a bit better. And yeah, I think that is all I really have to say about the figure. So we shall move on to the size comparisons. So to start with the size comparisons, as always, here he is with a Lego minifigure. The Pack of Destruction minifigure Mothra. The Pack of Destruction minifigure Godzilla. And with his son, the Pack of Destruction minifigure Minya. And this is one of the biggest Godzilla figures that Bandai Creation's ever made, so I thought I'd compare it with one of the smallest, with the Chibi Godzilla. And here he is with the Bandai Creation's Showa Gigan, Millennium King Ghidorah, and the Playmates Jet Jaguar. Why these three specifically? Because he fought them all in the Godzilla Anniversary shorts. And to compare him with some other Godzillas, here he is with the Bandai 54 Godzilla from 2002. The Bandai 54 Godzilla from 2014. And just because they're both big, here he is with the 2007 Leader Optimus Prime. Because they're actually pretty much the same height. So yeah, he's on par with classic Transformer Leader class figures. Pretty big. And finally, here he is with the previous review, the Lego Hero Factory Corroder. Alrighty, that's it for the size comparisons. That was a lot of figures. Now, it's measuring time. So we'll get out that measuring tape. Get the figure here. Get things, make sure you can see them nice and right. Get this out here. And yeah, you can see it doesn't quite live up to the 12-inch height that he's supposed to have. He's more so 10 inches. Which, hey, still pretty dang big, but not as big as they claim him to be. Don't know why they wound up making him smaller. Honestly, think about it, if they just kind of straightened out these legs, he probably would be the full 12 inches. Don't know why they scrunched up the legs like that. I don't know. I don't know if they couldn't support the weight otherwise. I mean, it's made out of vinyl, but it's not that weak. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure why they decided to make it that way. But that's just pretty much it for the 12-inch Final Wars Godzilla. And like I said, he does have some minor sculpt inaccuracies, but he's just cool, and he's just got a presence to him from being so big and beefy looking. He's got a nice height. He's also got a decent weight to him. I mean, he's pretty light because he's hollow, but it's heavier than your average figure. Well, obviously he's made of more plastic, duh. But what, whatever. Now, if you wanted one of these for yourself on eBay, it's going for around $40 pre-owned, and if you wanted it brand new in the box, it's around $90, which I do not recommend, because no. Plus, with Bandai figures, there is no such thing as like brand new in the box, because the box doesn't fully cover them. They're always exposed. So it's like, I don't know, to me there's like no point in getting it brand new, because at least on the aftermarket, you know. Obviously, if they're still in stores, you get one brand new, but when you go like stuff on eBay and whatnot, no, just get a pre-owned one. And yeah, he's a little expensive. You know, $40 is a little much for this guy. But he was reissued quite a few times. I mean, they re-released him in 2010, 2014, and 2019, so maybe one of the reissue versions are cheaper. I don't know. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Be cool. I like him. And Bandai also made a 12-inch Final Wars Gigan and Kiryu, and I own both of them and will review them later. Don't really plan on doing them anytime soon. I got a bunch of other stuff I got planned that I'm going to do before I get to them. Also, Playmates made their own version of the 12-inch Final Wars Godzilla, and yeah, it's not as good. I don't know if that one is cheaper, but I mean, it is an alternative, but it's like, man, it don't look anywhere near as good as this one does. But anyways, that's pretty much it for this review. That's all I've got to say. So yeah, hope you all enjoyed. See you later. Sayonara.